we're going to free farm on Sven. Sven is a hero that is quite good versus a lot of illusions and like the zoo. So he will have both in this game to actually have to deal with. So it's going to be really nice. As well as that, you got the Wombo combo. You got the Darkseer Sven with the vacuum into the Stormhammer, into the damage there. So we'll see if they can get to that stage of the game. Whereas I think on the side of Felt, their safe lane is probably their strongest aspect here. Whereas I do not believe that Darkseer should do well against CK in the laning stage. He does have that crit and that heal to sustain quite easily.
Yeah, they got plenty of options, at least on the side of Rebellion, to approach into this first game. And there is a lot on the shoulders of Felt if they wish to take a victory here. I believe the pre-game odds weren't looking too hot on the side of Felt. And of course, it is Rebellion, the name that everybody fears. And now currently even building into a household name in North America. As they just got to find their tools very fast and be super active. And most importantly, very focused this game. No room for mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, as usual, like when you're playing against a team that is this good, your window for mistakes is quite tiny here. I am seeing this support gyro come out again. I'm not sure how I feel about it right now. Like most of the games I've seen it, it's looked okay, but it hasn't looked amazing at the same time. So another game of Albino Zebra going to be playing this support gyro. He should have his work cut out for him this game because like their instant stuns are pretty limited here. They do have like the chains into arrow combination, which is quite potent, but like when is this gyrocopter really going to come online and can he deal with the laning stage? I guess in theory, against the Darkseer, it could be pretty good. The homing missile will track him down and they are 2 melee. So them killing the rocket in the lane might be quite difficult. But at the same time, if they just creep cut together, I don't know if this gyro is going to be one of the stronger heroes of like zoning them away from that.
Exactly. I'm just thinking like how early are you going to look to build a potential Blink Dagger on this CK? Because the Chaos Bolt initiation, it might just be something that Felt has to almost solely rely on. You mentioned the chains and the arrow combination that they have, but it's not always reliable. So you might even have to look for playmaking items on the side of your carry. Hitmonlee would like to build into the casual damage and extra stats, make sure he's going to be tanky enough to fight against the heroes on the side of Rebellion, especially against the Sven Cleave. But what about that Blink? Do you think it's going to come out earlier this game than normal? Or does he want to build one?
I mean, at some point, I think he definitely should. But you have like a choice to make. Like when you do go Blink, you also have to like somehow deal with the Sven, and Blink isn't going to make you any tankier either. So I guess he's got his work cut out for him as far as itemization. But I think initiation is going to be more important than any other item. So I do expect him to get that within the first few items. Probably just go to Echo Saber, Armlet, into BKB Blink.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the core things, especially early on, is really locking down heroes and getting some success on those pickoffs and not really getting like these unfavorable trades too early on, especially kits on the Ember Spirit. You want to have impact on this hero. Supports might need to help them out in the mid lane. DP normally has somewhat reasonable movement speed, especially once you have Exorcism on, so you can run away from the rocket and you have these range heroes to kind of just try to get as close as possible to blowing up the DP. DP being the only ranger. This is a 4 melee draft on the side of Rebellion, but is that a weakness or is that a pro more on your... What do you think about that?
I mean, I think having a lot of melees with Darkseer is always kind of nice. You have more options to use that shell. On top of that, you just get in there and do as much damage as you can. So it seems pretty okay in this game, and you don't have a lot of punish here, I think, on Felt. Like, these heroes don't really punish melee heroes, so to speak, right? The only question is who's going to be buying your Force Staffs and how early are you going to get them? Because I think Crit is not playing a hero that generally wants to buy Force Staff very early.
Oh, Solji taking a huge amount of damage here, and the stun connects on Arteezy. He's going to bring up the first blood for Rebellion.
Very nice. I think this is going to be a free farm lane regardless for Arteezy, but add first blood on top of that, and he is going to be really happy. As Felt, I think Fade down here is going to be struggling a little bit. He does have a big wand, though. But what I was going to say was the mid lane matchup. Actually, Crit on the top lane.
Yeah, let's look at that. Crit fairly low, but it is Saberlight. It's going to be soaking up most of that barrage. Not even taking too much damage on the side of this Darkseer. But Crit does get to salve up and regenerate, but they are fairly low here. And he does have Onslaught available to charge in. Just needs that trample up, and then they will try and go again. However, CK, you got to try to, at the same time, push the wave, because you do want to get your lifesteal out of the creeps. But how do you keep the lane tranquility in your favor? Do you just push against this Darkseer? Because he does have the Iron Shell, and you have a melee core who will soak up some of that damage. What do you want to do here on the side of Felt?
I think you're just going to farm and chill for the most part in this top lane. Every once in a while, I think Saberlight can Iron Shell crit, and they can do a lot of good damage, but this isn't a lane that they're supposed to be winning. Because I think the CK, he just has that much self-sustain, as Albino Zero might be gone on here.
Yeah, at least the Chaos Bolt is a reasonable counter to that trample damage, as you do end up getting stuck on the spot. And now there's a rocket flying in, Reality Rift being used up, a very limited damage. Saberlight just walking right next to him, actually right on top of this CK. So Hit Immune also ends up taking a fair chunk.
Yeah, I'm wondering at what point they're going to decide to just lane cut, because I don't think you're going to be pressuring the CK at all in this laning stage, especially when he gets more points into the Chaos Strike here, because he will just sustain quite easily. What I am very interested is about this mid lane. I mean, Ob is actually just going to glyph and go for something aggressive here.
Yeah.
Oh, that was close. He does have a fairy fire.
Are you watching, Mike? Look at this guy.
Look at this guy. He's cooking for sure. This mid lane is very, very difficult. And what's going to be worse is, like, you already know Rebellion has a plan. When Obid gets level 6, they're going to move supports here.
Oh, got the arrow connection as well. One hit away from the kill. And the creeps will finish off the job. So Solji getting a solo kill off of the Sven.
That's very good for him. Now he's at level 3. They killed the Sven, who was free farming. So
it's a bit of a salvation that they needed. And now there's no Chaos Bolt to land on top of the Primal Beast. They will finish off the Gyrocopter. That's going to be the second kill. Going in favor for Rebellion. They're somewhat low on mana. They do have some mangoes here. Vacuum onto Hit Immune and just soaking up that Iron Shell damage onto this CK. And actually turn around a fight. He is tanking the tower. Crit will swap the aggro away, and of course he's going to crit the guy. Albino Zebra, the Zebra guy, chasing up Saberlight here. Another Iron Shell as well. Wants to retaliate a little bit more, but the creeps are tanking the barrage. But however, not going to save you here. It's both Crit and Saberlight going down for Fel.
Yeah, I mean, he has no points in the surge. They're going for the absolute aggressive play, killing the gyro, which would have been fine there, but they got a little bit greedy, trying to go for the CK, ended up losing both the offlaner and the position 4 there, so that turns out like not working out for them whatsoever. And now Saberlight, only level 3 here, no points on the surge. Might be in a little bit of danger in the next little bit.
Well, there's a rotation, pre-level 6 Ember Spirit, nowhere to get out, no remnants, no nothing. And that is Kit's fallen down. And one thing to highlight is actually the Lycan CS. He's at 9 last hits, 13 denies on RTC. So despite that solo kill Solji got, Lycan's not liking it at all.
I mean, Solji's higher net worth than the Lycan at this point. So, like, it's a little bit rough for sure. But talking about that mid lane, like, how many times have we seen this where just some Death Prophet or Leshrac just gets level 6 while some Ember's level 5? Top lane, don't hit Immune. The Vacuum, he's going to be gone.
He is history.
But, like, you come in at this timing where you're level 6 with a DP, you have the Catapult Wave, you end up dying on your Ember, you lose a lot of damage on your Tier 1, and then they're trying to salvage it as best they can as Lycan goes down again, but it's so hard. Like, once you leave, you know, to help Ember, now the top lane's getting pressured. And now Lycan's going to get pressured on bot lane, so last couple of minutes here have been really good for Rebellion.
There's so much pressure that it starts to feel like, where's the breaking point? Right now, it might look like net worth is somewhat even, but Lycan is struggling. The CK's not having a great time, but he's still topping net worth, at least on the side of Felt, and almost tied up with the DP, who's enjoying his time in the mid lane. But this Saberlight Crit duo, I mean, the more levels these two heroes get, it just becomes more and more difficult, not only inside the lane, but the action that's going to happen after.
Yeah, for sure. I think you can't leave this CK alone anymore, because if you ever leave him alone, the double Ion Shell is going to be too much. And they're going to try, but
we go again. We've seen this movie before. They do get one stun into the rocket, and they might be able to turn around for a crit kill. Yes, they will, but Hit Immune, very low Saberlight, trying to chase around with the Iron Shell, puts another on the melee creep. Albino Zebra. Oh, he's going to soak up so much damage. Fairy Fire. He will buy some time, but it's not going to be enough. The creeps are going to be tanking the tower, and Saberlight is going to be completely fine with it. TPing away as well. Solji does show up, but it's going to be a little bit too late. However, CK gets to live. It's a sacrifice.
I mean, I think that ended up being fine for both sides. It's kind of like a wash, right? You just traded your supports here. They really wanted to get the kill onto the CK there, but just just not enough damage. He actually got a double crit there, which healed him up so much. So a little bit lucky, I will say, for hitting Immune there to be able to survive out of that one.
Someone's misfortune is somebody else's fortune.
Yeah. And then into the mid lane here.
There's a bit of traffic.
Yeah.
5 heroes in mid currently.
I mean, there's no points in chains right now because I feel like Kits didn't have a good enough lane. He's just like on full like survival mode right now, just trying to deal with the pressure Orbit's putting onto him here.
One thing about survival mode, I hope he doesn't go Blade Mail this game. I have not seen Blade Mail ever have success.
Yeah, it doesn't really look good in this game either, not necessarily. Like, it's fine in a way versus DP, you pop Blade Mail and then you man up, but with the Siphon, you just have so much heal on DP, I think you're just gonna die on Ember, and while doing a little bit of damage back.
And even as Sven dealing damage into the armor, but in the top lane at the same time, Saberlight's going to be in trouble. Does have the vacuum and the surge actually cast onto Crit, I believe. And they will get the turnaround. That's a double for Crit. Kit's a bit late for the party.
That wall animation is so annoying to look at, actually. It's like, it doesn't look like a wall. It's like so subtle.
Mesmerizing.
It's very subtle. You kind of like want to walk into it. It's very nice.
All right, looks nice. So I'm just gonna walk in it. But yeah, it does look very, very mesmerizing in the end. But Solji soaking up a fair amount of damage. Abed under the tower. CK TPing in as well. Hit Immune will pop the ult, but he's too far away for the reality rift. Oh, few pixels away, just a little bit too far. Don't be long for two gone.
Crit's in.
Crit's going to be charging in onto Kits, and he does have Pulverize available. Doesn't quite get the opening onto the Ember Spirit. I think they want the fight to escalate a little bit more until he goes for it. And just going to have to sack Fly. Turnaround coming out from Feld. 4 heroes into mid to salvage the situation. And Fade's been catching up meanwhile. He's not going to get the fantastic Dominator timer, but he's not like completely shut down this game. Like, he's been... A lot of space has been made so far.
I mean, I think the difference between that fight mid is they brought 4 heroes on Felt to defend that tower, but on the same time, Saberlight and Arteezy on both side lanes are completely free farming. So it was a 3 versus 4 in the mid lane. They did get Fly, which is good that they got something out of it there, but you haven't really stopped Arteezy yet. He's completely free farming. Now Saberlight as well, with the CK leaving the lane there and then getting that kill. Yep. Now is in a position where he's going to get a tower, and his net worth is going to skyrocket as well as he's going into the Crimson Guard against the Lycan, against the CK. It makes sense. It seems like a pretty good item.
Yeah, it makes a reasonable amount of sense. I mean, you don't get to see the Crimson Guard every single game, but when the situation allows it... Oh, good night, Solji. Raindrops ain't going to save you here. Got the rocket flying in, and melee heroes trying to destroy a rocket. Well, not going to have the best luck with it. That's not really going to be leading into a fight. However, Tombstone drop bottom, and again, 2-man rotation coming in to save Fade. He is tanking. He does not have his shapeshift available. But the call down, Arteezy is really deep, and there's the change shown for the first time. And Arteezy, he is down. That's a man down on the side of Rebellion. Maybe even 2. 10 stick charges up on the Undying. He will heal up, but the rocket's going to be there in Kits, just chasing Fly down under the tower. Felt for 2.
I mean, I was just watching Arteezy like continuously click that Helmet Dominator. I was like, you have to know someone's TPing at some point, right? But he really wanted that HOD. You know what the worst part about it was? He didn't even get it. He got down to like 1 or 2 hits left until dead, and then he was like, oh, this is taking a lot longer than I thought. In mid lane, Soldier's gonna go down to
Kits is actually wanting to get some revenge for his buddy who just fell in the mid lane. The tower's gonna go down, but Kits is gonna get a kill on Crit. And bottom lane, there's another battle going on. Fade will fall as they drop the wall from Saberlight, and Arteezy pops his ult as well for that extra damage. And the tower, it stays up with 65 HP. It is at deny range, way over deny range at this point, but they can just finish off with the pressure, maybe even use that tower for another rotation in case Arteezy ends up extending a bit too far again.
Things getting a bit out of hand here after those couple fights there. Right. You got 2 kills on Abed. Bottom lane, Arteezy gets another tower. They get 2 towers in that small amount of time. I assume bot tower will fall really soon here. Yeah. Oh, he just got crit twice.
He's going to commit for it too. Crit coming in for the rescue. No TPs to the tower, but 4 heroes, or 3 in this case, just walking in and hitting Immune. I think he got a bit debated this time. If Arteezy the last time tried to get the hot creep, now he was like, I want to protect this tower. Oh, I might be even getting a kill, and dies himself. That's the worst kind of pain a Dota player can sometimes feel.
Yeah, this game was pretty close, but all of a sudden, over the past like 3 minutes, it's now a 5k net worth lead for Rebellion. And it's getting a lot more difficult now. I mean, you do have opportunities to get back into this game if you are Feld. I think you're going to have to play around some timings, the Lycan ult being one of them, and we need some more points in this chain. 2 points, I guess that's enough there, but you need to find some chain into arrow combinations and play around this gyro ult.
Especially since Ember does have the Orb of Corrosion, meaning that he does want to brawl even more. Wants to keep up the fight, keep up the tempo. Right now, triple core net worth lead on the side of Rebellion compared to Felt, so they are playing from a bit of a deficit at this time. We're only 13 minutes into the game. 21 kills also added up on the board. Objectives, they're slowly falling. All tier 1's gone on the side of Felt, and only the mid tier 1 taken it just now by Fate's creeps. And RTC, he gets the hot creep this time. Hooray!
Yeah, I mean, he had God Strength this time, so it went down a lot faster.
Double down.
Yeah, double down for it. And I think right now, like, what do you do if you're Felt? Because, like, you're playing into this Crimson Guard now of the Darkseer. I feel like your damage is incredibly low. Arteezy's going to free farm because of the space that's going to be made by Saberlight here. He's just sitting in front of him, one of the most farmed heroes in the game. I mean, he was higher than Arteezy until that Hod kill, but how do you pressure Arteezy now at this point? Like, you have to go through Saberlight and Abed, who are just going to be sitting in the front there. And I think you just have to sacrifice that net worth now to Artur. I don't think you're stopping him from farming, but that's a scary thought, letting the Sven free farm in this game.
Idea?
Yeah, of course.
Kit's Rapier.
Like right now?
Yep.
Let's
go, baby.
That is a very crazy idea. I mean, he does have 2.5k gold right now, which is a little strange. He's debating what item should go. All right, he's going for the Maelstrom.
I mean, this is also another wild idea, but I don't think that a Radiance ID on the Ember Spirit would be too off the mark, because it is in the end a Sven, and Sven does not generally like to build an MKB if he doesn't have to, because he relies on the cleave damage and another target to hit, so he can just bypass the mischance. But that I don't think he's going to go for it, just throwing in some wild ideas.
Yep. I mean, yeah, he just switched it up and went for the Maelstrom, but not buying the small pieces, just kind of like he has the money to buy it all at once, but kind of weird. He sent the hammer out.
Just the hammer, okay.
When he has the money for the entire thing now, so little inefficiency there, but that's okay. It'll be back out in a moment here, as we do think, I think Rebellion wants to smoke now.
3-man smoke on the way. Saberlight crit and fly. Very low mana on this Darkseer right now, but he does have enough for one set of abilities. Mango also up there, and see if they can find someone. They're probably looking for a core, farming on the enemy side of the map, but there's nobody. There's absolutely nobody here, except maybe a bit deeper in. There is Fade. There's an Ember Spirit right behind the corner. They've got a read on it, and they will spot Fade. Instant pulverize. Kits has no mana. He can't fight back. He's gonna have to sack this Lycan. And also, at the same time, Soldier being chased by RTZ. He wants a bit of revenge for what happened at the laning stage.
1 second for leap. Oh, that was...
He used it.
Yeah, mid-animation got hit. Unlucky.
Cut in half.
But the net worth lead is going down, actually, even though they got 2 kills. It's down to 3k now, so... I'm actually a little surprised by that. I thought they were farming about the same there, but clearly that is not the case. But Roshan will be going down now. And at some point, they do have to be able to kill this Sven. Do you take the Aegis if you're Sven now? I'm not so sure you do. But DP is not great either with it, because if you die with Exorcism, I mean, I guess they're similar type of heroes. Who else would you give it to?
Yeah,
not the best Aegis game.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Like, if you take Sven and TB in comparison, it's always the kind of same thing. You have to sacrifice an ulti or a big ability for either one of your lives. They're trying to kill off Saberlight, but it's just the lone gyrocopter.
Lucky. Yeah.
Machine breaks down as he gets charged by a dinosaur.
But with that, they know Arteezy's alone, and will Arteezy be greedy, or will he be a good boy?
Went blink.
And go back. Arteezy end up going blink? All right, that's a very aggressive choice here. That just indicates that I think the rationale is they have the Aegis now. They want to be a bit more aggressive now, and he could buy this Blink Dagger right now and participate, as opposed to if he went for BKB, he would still need more time. So it looks like that kind of shows that he does want to participate a bit more with this first Aegis here.
Meanwhile, Hit Immune with the CK, he's been keeping up in the farming pace. Kit's also placing himself fairly aggressively, but he knows he can get out. It's only the DP Silence or the Sven Stun. Most importantly, the DP Silence if they want to try and catch this Ember Spirit off guard. Won't be able to jump out. And they're setting up for a bit of a gank. They're expecting somebody to show up in the top lane and just try to catch him in the lane. RTZ, however, is moving away. While Fade is using his shapeshift to run away from Crit. They're taking over the triangle right now on both sides of the map. Establishing some dominance on the map. Okay, mass TPs. RTZ takes the fight. Were they ready for this? They were looking for someone to TP in, but that might be a bit too much traffic for Felt. They're fighting all the way they can with the vacuum on 2, and they will take that hit. Mune and Albano Zebra. They will both fall, and Kids maybe as well. Kids trying to get the snipe on RTZ, but it's not going to be enough. The man who did not have the Aegis down to 100 HP and walks away scot-free.
Yeah, that was definitely a close one there. I was
Look at the damage they dealt that fight. That's 7.5 to 3k, losing 2 heroes.
Yeah, but still didn't... Sven is a tanky boy. He has a lot of HP. They almost brought him down, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, and the Crimson Guard's doing work.
Yeah, the thing I'm more worried about is I think this is quite possibly one of the latest Helm of Overlord timings I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, it's not optimal.
Just picked it up right now, and I'm afraid the timing that this hero had, it's like, it's gone now.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be very difficult. Lycan is not a hero that functions really well while playing from behind here. Oh, it's top lane. It looks like Kits is just playing with him a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find a way for this Lycan to get back into the game. He's going to buy a shard. He wants to rat, but you're going to have to win a team fight at some point. And then you have like Saberlight here, who's continuously buying more auras going into the Greaves now.
Yep.
DP is going to buy more survivability going into the BKB. I'm just afraid at some point the damage is just not going to be there. It's going to be all on CK to output this damage here. So I think the big timing that Felt will have will be around the CK's BKB timing, which he's going for next. And I think you just got to go with it because there's no other timings for Ember necessarily. Sure, maybe his BKB could be good timing as well, but Lycan's timing is pretty much now.
Also to think about, Rebellion's draft works in very many various ways because they have a lot of wave clear, which also prevents that actual rat from happening on the side of Felt because Darkseer, Iron Shells, it doesn't even need to be there. Sven's going to do a lot of damage on that too. They will find Solji's Marana. Use that Pulverize to grab Marana's mount and just smash her down onto the ground. And meanwhile, farming happily in the enemy side jungle and actually was looking at his career movements. He is moving it for a much more safer path. They are expecting trouble on their side of the map, and that's going to be death number 6 for the gyrocopter. Gotta start looking for some spare parts in this one.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like trying to rat as much as they can. Like the CK's ratting bottom, Ember's ratting top, which means...
might die.
Yeah. Which means if you do things like this at some point, I mean, Fade ultied as well. Again, another like defensive ultimate here, like not really amounting to anything on the Lycan. And I think they feel the same way I feel about this game, and it's just like, what can they do? They can't really find an answer themselves. They realize running into them and doing a 5v5 won't work. Ratting isn't really working either, as Crit is finding them, as long as Saberlight too, with the haste he's providing.
Yeah, look at this pushing power. You've got one hero in mid with a regen rune regenerating onto the tower with an Aegis about to expire, giving another set of regeneration. Sven pushing the other lane, taking another tier 2 tower, and they did not have a creep wave left in mid, so they had to give up on the push there, but they will definitely get one of these tier 2s. RTZ already pushing up at 13,000 net worth so far.
Yep. I mean, there is no God Strength now, so you do have a small window. Aegis
but
went
there's no
out
shapeshift either, so it kind of hurts.
It does hurt, but I think at this point, shapeshift is not more important than God Strength. So I think if you are going to take a fight, there is a window now. And like, if they can't continue doing what they're doing for the entirety of the game, there's going to have to be some point of this game where they're like, we have a timing that we have to use to try and get a pick off, because split pushing forever just doesn't work in this patch. Eventually, you're going to get caught, you're going to die, and as the game progresses and these respawn timers become longer, every time you die, it's going to mean more and more. So they still have a little more time they can split push where these death timers don't matter, but pretty soon here, it's going to matter until they can find the
Rebellion, they know about this smoke. There was a ward behind. They saw the movements, and now they're all showing up. But Saberlight gets the turnaround. Crit coming in with the onslaught as well. The Kits with a BKB, trying to deal as much damage at the front as he can, but the rest of them, they're not feeling it. They don't want to take this fight. There's no Lycan either, even nearby in the fight. They might just lose the CK. Nicely dodges the stun there with the BKB, but that's a 9-second charge being used. And Solji, can he still see an opening here? The haste rune runs out on Kits. Won't be able to chain up crit here. Flies low, and Arteezy's got strength. It is running. It is ticking. They've just used Shapeshift as well. Just came off cooldown for Fade. Still on the hunt here, trying to get as much information as they can. It is a 4v4 fight without the aura carrier, but they can't quite cross onto the high ground. The classic. Can't step up the stairs.
But overall, that was pretty good for them. I mean, sure, they used a lot of BKBs, but they forced the BKB out for Arteezy as well there. They got the Saberlight kill, only losing a position 5
Again?
for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that damage dealt this one? I mean, I think it might not be taken into account the... It is actually the vac wall there.
Yeah.
That was just 50. They have 600 damage, but it basically just dealt that fight. So it is kind of ridiculous looking at these damage numbers on the side of Felt. They could definitely do a lot, and it is majorly coming out of Kits' Ember.
Yeah, I mean, that was his BKB reveal there. So, like, we ended up using
Talking about Kits.
a lot of BKBs there, yeah.
Yep, they see the courier and everything.
10 seconds for
And
BKB.
No, okay, just walks in the middle of everyone. Remnant
he
jumping
came
back
back.
and forth. He's got 36 seconds on TP, so he does have another Remnant. Just has to juke around a little bit. Tombstone. Stay in the trees. Just stay in the trees.
Yeah, I mean, Tombstone off the mark there, and that's just, at the end of the day, space. More space made. I think that one fight in the mid lane was super good for them to open up the map
Might get
a
a
lot.
kill as well. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
He actually finds himself a kill here, maybe. Arteezy, though. Oh, so close for the kill, and still TP cooldown for 10 seconds. Kits. Did he push
There's
his
no
limits?
way he knows, right?
No way.
He just saw him.
He should be out. Oh, if only if Rebellion splits further a bit more, that would have been dodging a 4-man gank into actually killing a hero and creating a ton of space. But you can't have everything.
It's go time now for me.
No
Sven
ghost strength.
just used ulti. Undying used ulti
Oh, they're
as
moving
well.
towards it. Look at top.
Yeah.
There's so many heroes on the mini map right now, and they see Arteezy, no ulti. They see Saberlight as well. Mirana ulti scouts him out. That's gonna be throwing into the air. Crit has the jump on the Mirana though, and no stun, no arrow coming out. The vac comes out as well. They will finish off the supports in a moment. Sylvan Zebra running for a crit will go down. And it may actually make his way out on Abed. You ain't got no Aegis for yourself protecting you this time. Kits is doing so much work in the front line, but he cannot finish off the kill. Fly also shows up, and as Saberlight is still in the midst of that battle, that regeneration, all the auras provided, they can't get a kill.
I mean, right place, right time for crit there to really interrupt that combo. But at the same time, like, I think Felt played that a little bit too
Gyro
fast.
did the most damage there.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of damage was done other than the crit there. But, like,
Yeah.
I feel like they had a really good timing there. They just needed to go together and make something happen. Sure, Mirana found, like, it was Saberlight there, yeah, with the Yules, but they were alone. It was just Gyrocopter there. They didn't have enough damage to really secure that kill and continue going forward here. So now things have kind of reset again. Overall, though, everything is going fine for Felt. It's really not that bad. The net worth lead is
It
only
could be
3,000.
worse.
Could be much worse.
Yeah.
And they're getting back a little bit. We still haven't felt Fade in this game.
Fade.
Like, we really have not seen him in this game, but he has been farming. He did buy the drums up, going for a
Arrow.
nullifier.
Good night crit.
All right, that's a kill. There's Fade. That was it. He's in the game now. I think at some point, you might want to consider buying
This is
more
pretty good smoke.
utility.
This is a pretty good smoke. They're in neutral area, no vision around them. And Roshan is, of course, the key they're looking for here. Saberlight, the one to be caught. That could be a very good start for the fight. The arrow actually lands onto the Undying as well on the side. Fly was not expecting that to happen. He was pushed away with the reality rift, and the arrow lands on the Undying. You got a two-man stun basically happening there. Hidden Mew getting Fly, Kits getting Saberlight, and suddenly you got some map control. Sadly, 30 seconds is the Roche timer right now, so he's not going to be up on time.
Yeah, I mean, if Fly doesn't get hit by the arrow, maybe you get a Tombstone on the high ground, you get a Soul Rip off, and you can maybe get your Darkseer spells off too and turn this fight. But, like, the fact that they just both got stunned simultaneously, CK stunning the Darkseer, and then Dying just getting hit by an arrow, they had no chance in that fight after that.
Felt is really making this a super competitive game, and it's not going to be a walk in the park for Rebellion. A team that never underestimates their opponents. Maybe Arteezy from time to time has a bit of extra fun, but but still, we do talk about, I think we can still totally agree, there's a very systematic team that goes through their strengths, and if they have a weakness, they will fix that weakness, and they show none. But right now, Felt is really making this a proper game. 27 minutes, 5-man smoke coming in from Rebellion as Roshan. It was already started for a moment. They do back out, though.
Yep. Assault Cross now just completed for the Sven, so they're going to hit a bit of a timing. But all that matters right now is going to be this Roshan fight. And who can have the better vision?
They're very split on the side of Feld. They're not allowed to give any extra pickoffs here because they're going to lose Roshan right away. If they give something here, they could maybe give the gyrocopter away. That's not going to be a massive loss for them, but Rebellion they just can't seem to find anyone here. Quick glimpse off of Kits here. 2-man chains coming out again. No arrow tombstone already placed down.
We're starting to see like them having very little like catch for this Ember, how annoying it can be. Kits is able to play.
Fade is not here yet. Fade is not here yet. He's still in the mid lane. He's going to have to show up soon. At least Felt is slowing this down.
His creep is there at least. He's there in spirit.
Oh, they actually got a glimpse of him. That same ward that's placed right next to the two towers shows his location, and he's down for 40. He does have shapeshift and potentially a TP as well for the outpost, but Rebellion, they want to find more.
They're playing on their vision here if they can get the initiation on Felt.
Rocket already connecting onto crit. Flies down to half HP. Sven has been controlled for the time being. Lycan coming in with the buyback as well. And to fight the walls placed down. And only onto Solji. And CK just TPs away. He's not having any of this. Solji even manages to juke them away. Oh no. Fly coming in with a buyback. Really? Everyone getting out from the side of Felt. They just killed off Fly and Crit as well. I mean, Fly already died before he bought back, but Crit dying. And Exorcism used. God's Strength has been used. Rebellion is getting baited here. Can they even kill Kits here? Kits should be okay, but he doesn't actually have Mana of the Remnant. Now he just does as Albino Zebra comes in to show up and help him out. And here comes the CK, freshly back into the battle. Arrow flying in onto Saberlight as well. CK dropping very low on HP. They will be able to take down Saberlight, but Albino Zebra, he will fall as well. But RTC very low on HP. Abba is going to have to do some heavy lifting here. Kits, he will be found. He will be taken down. And Rebellion, they make it into a 2-3 trade in the end. There is a Golem causing some issues for RTC. And what does Fate do? He's just walking about. Arrow connecting onto the side, onto Abed. Lycan can't walk on the high ground. There's sentries everywhere. He will be spotted.
Yeah, I think a little bit of mistake there by Burna. He decides to kill the Darks here instead of finishing Arteezy's spin off. In the end, really did not work out for them. I think he was thinking they can end up killing both of them, but it looks like we're going to die on Solji as well. And well, back into Rebellion's court here. God Strength back online. They're going to go into the Roche pit here.
They still get it in the end.
Potentially, what can they do here, maybe? I mean, the outpost was still there if they want to TP on it, but I think Roche might die too fast for this.
Yeah, they don't have any scans. They probably suspect them to be in the pit, so Saberlight already putting the bot wave to push in, making sure those wolves aren't going to be causing any issues, and as they find one objective, waves are kind of far on the side of Felt's map. They're going to have to play more defensive for the time being. And that means free Roshan. Aegis number 2 has been picked up.
And as soon as this Roche was about to go down, I looked at Fade's inventory, and he just purchased, like, he had 3,000 gold. He bought a plate mill, and he bought the shard. And it kind of shows you that, like, okay, we're going to play this game again. Kind of like the first Roche. He wants to start ratting, so buys the ratting item, and it really shows you that they do not want to take a fight for the foreseeable future here while this Aegis is online. But I don't know if Rebellion will give them that luxury, because I think it might be go time for them to go high ground. There is a cheese available as well as the Aegis now.
There's a lot of items on Arteezy's courier as well, so let's see what he finishes off. And then Aghanims at the same time ready for the Ember Spirit, and this is a pretty good timer for Kits. Kits, who has had a lot of impact so far on this Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
He had a rough start to the game, but I think he has, I wouldn't say even recovered. I feel like he's been carrying the team quite hard, not just alone. It's been a team effort for Felt, but it can't help but highlight how well he's played this game considering the start was so hard.
Yeah, for sure. I think Kits has been having a great game, but the laning stage was supposed to go poorly. He's playing versus DP. It's a hard matchup. They did realize this game, they don't have a lot of like lockdown for the Ember, and he's been doing a really good job of exploiting that.
Again, Rebellion kind of split on the map right now. Saberlight there to attempt and defend the tower. There is Arteezy sitting in the mid lane, but Felt They're suspecting people to be behind them. They have no vision whatsoever. I feel like they're blind on the map right now on the side of Felt. They probably don't see much. Yeah, they don't really have anything on the map right now, so a bit of a scary moment. Curiosity question, do they have any wards in stock or any wards on their heroes on the side of Felt? Because
I mean, the Gyro's got a bunch of
got some
sentries,
in her backpack, yeah. So there's something, but they're really blind right now.
Yeah, they've got 2 wards. One on Mirana, one in the shop that they just purchased out.
Okay.
And they have 0 on the map physically. So I think they should use these wards later on to just try and take team fights. Don't place them for vision to like just pop on a high ground. It's going to get de-warded immediately. When you pop these wards, it's going to be for initiation for that fight in that moment. Preferably out of a smoke. But I think they're going to dodge until this Aegis goes down. Another 2.5 minutes.
It's going to fly in. It's going to connect on Saberlight and a massive magical nuke.
Yep.
That's a freebie. I was suspecting that to happen. He wasn't vacuuming himself away. He already saw the first attempt from Kits, and he's just chilling and walking away. Iron Shelling thinking he can survive, but it's to Mirana as well. +1, making it different, but now fighting on right next to the triangle. Gyrocopter trying to make his way out. It's going to be a support for support trait, but that's actually a... Was that a gem? That's a gem on the ground as well, so Abed, he will recover it.
There's a Scotty on the CK
Scotty
now.
on the CK, yeah. They don't have a way to cancel this TP off of Abed. He will be fine, and he recovers the gem.
I mean, he used Exorcism there, too. So, like, that was a BKB, that was Exorcism. And this all kind of goes back to Saberlight dying on this top lane here. Like, they were formulating a plan to go to this bot lane, but Saberlight, he wanted to do that 1 extra Ion Chill for that 1 extra wave.
Yeah.
But
They aren't quite the evil geniuses, huh?
Not anymore. But yeah, I really don't see why they have to take these small risks right now, because like Felt has been doing such a good job at punishing these mistakes from Rebellion right now, and you've got to be a little bit scared here. Sven is not the best hero in the ultra late game, and I think this DP and Darkseer, they can be good, but I'm really afraid of this Ember and how he's going to progress in this game. He's already an issue, and he's already sort of low net worth. He has a lot of room to grow here, and this DK as well, with the Scotty getting as farmed as he is going to be a problem. I'm not going to think... I wouldn't say that Rebellion have this game in the bag in the late game by any stretch.
Obviously, the CK scaling does come through those 20 and 25 talents as well, but taking a bit of a battle here with RTZ. Some extra cleave damage. That is God's Strength. That is BKB used up on RTZ. And they haven't used anything yet. And crit again, jumping Solji before the arrow comes out. That will be a needed sacrifice.
All right.
For crit to jump in. They will take them around a kill.
Kind of feels like Felt are just playing a little too fast. Like, all they had to do is wait for that BKB to go down, right? Wait for the God Strength.
Wait for Saberlight to show up in the lane.
Maybe, sure. Maybe just go as a team, right? But it feels like Solji, he's jumping them a little too quickly. He has the right idea of what to do, but he's just doing it prematurely.
I mean, he's got the mid-player mentality. He will jump the opportunity if he sees it, but then he also realizes, oh, I'm actually kind of squishy here, and I might just get blown up if I don't have the backup of my supports, but I am the support this time. RTZ jumping in between to help out Fly, and now you don't have your God Strength, so Crit has to do some big plays, tries to get the stuns up, but the BKBs are still running. RTZ down low on HP. Will he fall? He will fight to the end. They will take down the CK. They will take down the Gyrocopter, and Kits won't be able to intervene and find a kill for himself. He's going to get silenced up as well with the Bloodthorn. Crit's going to be there as well. They will secure another core kill and forcing out the buyback as well from the Ember Spirit and Kits. He's got to do some heavy lifting here with the help of Solji. Fade doesn't have much to give. Exorcism being popped as the Glyph has also been used up here. An RTZ diving in. Another God Strength available. Will there be a buyback? Yes, there will. Kits will be falling. And now Gyrocopter, another hero to buy back and attempt to recover the situation, but Rebellion. You have a Rebellion in your base right now, Felt.
Yeah, we got too many dead heroes to deal with it either, so...
The King's not happy.
Definitely not. Right now, they got 20 more seconds until the CK is online, but really what made the difference in that last fight, it was all Saberlight. Like, RTZ was man-fighting there. It was really, really close, but you have the Crimson Guard, you had the Greaves there in the last second to really save him. That's a dieback as well.
Yeah, that's a dieback because of a Bloodthorn. Oh, boy.
That's a swag play right there for sure.
Fades. He's going to try and cause something here with this shapeshift, but
Story of
this
Fate's
is a
life,
very
this game.
difficult battle. Again, they do have a Hex coming out as well, and Crit's got the control. They will keep Fate on the spot, no matter if you have a shapeshift or not, or if there's a BK beat up CK on the run, 500 HP. Ovid will man fight to the bitter end, and Ovid might just find a kill. There's the blink coming out from the CK, so Hitmune will get to live a little bit longer, but right now, Felt, in a matter of moments, in a matter of seconds and minutes, the lead is now 23k on the side of Rebellion, which was a very long time. This game was somewhat a close game. Now it's in shambles.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely like the final fight, I think, for Felt.
Technically, yeah.
Because like they're not going to get another opportunity that's going to be that good unless RTC is feeling generous today and wants to go into the fountain.
Well,
but I think he's all business
I think
right
it's too
now.
far. I think it's already gone past that point. Is another kill. That's the CK down for 60 seconds. And RTZ, he's already level 25. He is hammering this lane down. And there's the GG call coming out from the side of Felt. They've had enough. It was a valiant battle from them, but again, it's just not enough against the team like Rebellion.
Yeah, I mean, Rebellion, they looked a little sloppy in this game. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, they definitely had some moments, but at the same time...